Hello, friends. Well, the new year is here. 2024 is upon us. So, have you made your New Year's resolution yet? Before you answer that, think about last year. What was your New Year's resolution for 2023? Do you even remember? I'm sure you get my drift. Rarely do New Year's resolutions have staying power. Rarely do they are they responsible for lasting change. So this year, maybe you could try something different, and I'm going to strongly suggest that you do. In 2024, we find ourselves facing some critically difficult issues and challenges, and I want to focus just briefly and narrowly in three areas. First of all, there's the area of chronic disease. Secondly, there's the state of our political discourse. And thirdly, there's the environment. So, let's look at the epidemic of chronic disease. Chronic diseases, and those include diabetes, cardiovascular disease, heart disease, you get the picture. Obesity, of course. According to the Centers for Disease Control, almost 71 million adults in America over the age of 55, there are that many, 71 million. And among them, 78% have at least one chronic disease. And 74%, almost as many, have two or more chronic diseases. And 19% of those persons have three or more. In 2019, 54% of adults in the age range of 18 to 34 had at least one chronic condition, and 22% had one or more. Of course, here, obesity is the leading cause, the leading condition, followed by high blood pressure and depression. These are more than statistics. I want you to understand that. Chronic diseases involve suffering. They involve stressed out families and caregivers, financial duress. Ultimately, they result in a shorter lifespan. Friends, this is a dire situation. Certainly there are environmental toxins and genetic factors, but the most amazing fact about chronic disease is the overwhelming majority of these diseases, these conditions, are the result of lifestyle choices. In other words, chronic diseases are preventable. Now, apart from chronic diseases, there's the political divide. The political divide in America threatens this republic. This is now old news, and this is the first time in my lifetime that I've seen things as they are today. And let me say that it is critically important that we be informed about the issues of the day. Political discourse is central to our democracy, and volunteering and giving money to the advocacy organization of your choice, or even going out and demonstrating with those organizations. These are essential activities, and they're protected by the Constitution. But the problem arises when people with different political views see each other not as fellow citizens, but as enemies to be feared, demonized, hated, or worse. In large measure, this is the situation we have in America today. So, on to food and the planet. Beyond your health, have you thought about how your food choices affect the health of the planet? You must know that about 10 billion land animals in the United States are raised for dairy, meat, eggs each year. Factory farming accounts for 37% of methane emissions, and methane has more than 20 times the global warming potential of carbon dioxide, CO2. Beef eaters must know and understand that forests especially the rainforests. These are carbon sinks. They help mitigate the emissions of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. But the main cause of global deforestation is without question cattle ranching. When we deplete our forests to raise cattle, we see increase in greenhouse gases. We see a disruption of water cycles, increased soil erosion, and disrupted livelihoods. Now, of course, it's important to think in terms of your own personal health, but I want you to ask yourself this: how would my community, my demographic, the planet, how would these look if everyone made the choices I make? Would the epidemic of chronic disease continue to soar, or would it decline? Would it begin to decline if everyone acted as you act? Would we lose this democracy, this republic, or would we find our way to political reconciliation and to a society that is stronger and more just for everyone? If everyone acted as you act and made the choices you make, would our forests continue to disappear with potentially cataclysmic impacts, or would there be a reversal of the harm that's being visited upon our planet? In 2024, how will you change your thinking? How will you change your habitual choices? What kind of role model will you be? What kind of society and what kind of world will we leave our children and future generations? Let's not mouth New Year's resolutions, which you will likely have forgotten by Valentine's Day. We must have healthier bodies, a healthier political discourse, and a healthier planet. Those are the objectives here. And objectives are achieved by setting goals. And I'll try to do better really doesn't cut it. Goals are measurable. There's no question at the end of the day whether you achieve that goal or whether you came up short. I suggest setting 3 goals, one in each of these 3 areas. For example, for personal health, I will walk for 30 minutes 3 times every week. Simple enough. For the health of the political discourse, each month I will listen to or read an article on the other side of one deeply held issue that I hold, without once making a disparaging remark or entertaining hateful thoughts about the speaker or the writer. And for the health of the planet, I will limit my consumption of beef, or maybe you could just say I'll limit my consumption of meat to 3 meals each week. So these are my examples. Please give this some thought and come up with your own. Document your 2024 goals. And listen, that's my dog Bella, if you hear her. She's chiming in here. So document your 2024 goals. Make digital notes on your cell phone. Review them weekly to keep them front and center. Add monthly reminders to your digital calendar and ask yourself, how am I doing with my 2024 goals? I suggest starting with modest, achievable goals, and as you meet your goal, challenge yourself by doing more. Friends, we need to make changes in our dire health outcomes with our deep political divide and with the assault on our environment. We can do this. We can do this. And these changes must begin with you. You are God's creation. You have been endowed with incredible power. The choices you make matter, and we're all in this together. I'm Joy Strickland, your certified wellness coach with inspiration for your wellness journey. Be sure to like, share, or join our channel. See you next time.